the first light of dawn gently filters through the dense canopy of trees, casting long shadows. The air is cool, carrying the fresh scent of dew-covered leaves and damp, rich earth. It is exactly 7 o'clock in the morning, the quietest and most peaceful hour here. Every day begins the same way, with a sense of purpose that centers around one majestic creature. I walk quietly toward the large, custom-built enclosure at the edge of the property. Inside is a Changeable Hawk-Eagle, a powerful predator that currently relies entirely on my care. As my boots crunch softly on the gravel path, I hear a faint, familiar rustling sound. He knows I am coming, recognizing the rhythm of my footsteps after weeks of this routine. I pause for a moment outside the mesh, letting him adjust to my presence before entering. This morning ritual requires absolute patience, stillness, and a deep respect for his wild nature. He is perched on a low, sturdy tree branch that was specially placed for his recovery. His brilliant, piercing yellow eyes lock onto mine immediately, tracking my every single movement. Even in his compromised state, the fierce intensity of a true apex predator never fades. He stands tall, his dark, mottled brown feathers slightly puffed up against the early morning chill. On his head, the small crest of feathers twitches slightly, signaling his high state of alertness. But as I look closer, the reality of his current situation becomes painful and obvious. His left wing is held awkwardly, slightly drooped and pressed tightly against his muscular body. It is a stark reminder of the serious, devastating injury that brought him to me. A deep fracture and severe muscle tearing had left this magnificent bird completely grounded. For a creature born to rule the skies, being unable to fly is a profound tragedy. Yet, looking at him today, I see an incredible, inspiring resilience in his posture. He is getting better, making slow but steady progress with every passing week of rehabilitation. The wing, which used to hang completely limp and lifeless, now has some visible structure. He can tuck it in much better now, a sign that the deep tissues are finally healing. I slowly open the heavy wooden door of the enclosure, keeping my body language relaxed. I avoid any sudden, jerky movements that might startle him or trigger a defensive reaction. In my left hand, I carry a thick, heavy leather glove that protects up to my elbow. In my right hand is a stainless steel tray containing his morning meal, carefully prepared. Today, it consists of fresh, nutrient-rich meat, packed with the vitamins he needs to heal. The eagle shifts his weight from one powerful, yellow foot to the other on the branch. His massive, razor-sharp black talons grip the rough bark with immense, naturally terrifying strength. He lets out a soft, high-pitched whistling call, a vocalization unique to his species. It is not a sound of fear, but rather a direct acknowledgement of food arriving. I step closer, stopping exactly 3 feet away, maintaining a respectful and safe distance. I use a pair of long, sturdy medical tongs to pick up the first piece of food. I extend my hand slowly, offering the nourishment directly toward his sharp, curved beak. He leans forward cautiously, his intense gaze shifting from my face down to the offering. With lightning-fast precision, he snatches the meat from the tongs with a sharp click. He swallows it down effortlessly, his powerful neck muscles working smoothly as he eats. Watching him eat with such a fierce, healthy appetite brings a wave of deep relief over me. A strong appetite is the ultimate indicator that a wild animal's spirit is not broken. It proves that his body is actively fighting to recover, demanding energy to rebuild muscle. I offer him a second piece, and this time, he takes it with even greater confidence. As he leans forward, his injured left wing twitches slightly, attempting to balance his body. It is a small, subtle movement, but it reveals the internal effort he is making. The wing cannot fully extend yet, but the fact that he tries shows nerve connection. Every minor twitch is a step forward, a tiny victory in a long, grueling recovery process. I speak to him in a very low, calm, and monotonous voice, offering quiet reassurance. The words do not matter, but the steady tone helps to lower his stress levels significantly. He listens, tilting his head from side to side, studying me with an ancient intelligence. Piece by piece, the morning meal disappears, and his initial tension begins to melt away. The dynamic between healer and wild animal is delicate, built on a foundation of strict boundaries. I must care for him completely without ever making him domestic or dependent on affection. He must remain wild at heart, preserving the fierce independence required to survive later. Once the tray is completely empty, I carefully place the tongs back down at my side. The Hawk-Eagle wipes his formidable beak against the rough wood of his perch, cleaning it. He then raises his uninjured right wing and gives it a massive, dramatic stretch. The feathers fan out beautifully, showing the incredible, complex engineering of a predator's wing. Then, slowly and with visible care, he moves his injured left wing just an inch outwards. He holds it there for 2 seconds before folding it back gently against his side. That tiny movement is everything. It is proof of healing, strength, and hidden hope. He cannot fly today, nor will he be able to fly by next week, but the day will come. Rehabilitation is a test of endurance, counting progress in millimeters and small moments. I take a step backward, slowly moving toward the exit, leaving him to digest in peace. I close and lock the enclosure door securely, looking back through the mesh one last time. He sits proudly under the morning sun, which is now beginning to warm the entire forest. His journey is far from over, but this morning, we took another successful step forward.